Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 7 of Timeliner, a progression-locked Ironman series where I'll be exploring the world of Runescape, one game update at a time, only with the gear and skills available up until this point. We finally done it. After skipping time for a few months, the last requirement for Heroes Quest is fulfilled. 56 quest points. So now, let's jump back to a simpler time. Please forget all you've seen about stuff like helping monks, fishing carps, stealing totems, killing demons, a lot of magic training, catching scorpions and drinking alcohol. The day is once again the 27th of February 2002 and we've just hit 25 Eplo. Now the final requirement for Heroes Quest is completed. With everything checked off, we stand in front of the gates to the guild and demand entry.
Greetings, welcome to the Heroes Guild.
A voice-acted welcome? Well, that's a nice surprise. Akietis, or at least that's what I hope her name is pronounced like, gives us a set of 3 tasks to prove our worth. A Masterpiece armband, for which we should pull some strings with our criminal contacts. An Entranan Firebird feather, which, as the name implies, lives on Entrana. And lastly, a cooked lava eel. A master fisher in Poserim can help us with that. Once again, our tasks are set. As a champion, we will face these challenges. Let's start at the top. A Master Thief's armband. Our good friend Raldo seems to have an intricate knowledge of criminal activities, so we'll try our luck there first. Absolutely nothing. Maybe we'll check the result of this quest. Ah yes, Katarina from the Black Arm Gang knows something. Since we are a member of both hers as well as the Phoenix Gang, we can apparently choose which path to follow. But as I'm here now, we commit to her. She promises us the armband in exchange for some valuable candlesticks from the pirate captain Scarface Pete in Brimhaven. She's already got people on the case, so we join up with them. They did some solid groundwork. The candlesticks are in the treasure room of Pete's mansion, the keys to which are carried by his head guard Grip. And they even found a way to get to him, by intercepting a new recruit of theirs, a deserted Black Knight, who we shall impersonate. With the ID in hand, we head on over to Grip. Shame for our armor. Feels sad. But of course we need black armor. I've taken a careful look at the wiki, and all parts that we need were buyable back then too. So luckily, a trip to the vendor solves our issue. Looking great. And our ID gets accepted. Damn, these guys are rocking OG armor. Look at their drip. Absolute units. Now, as a new guard, our shift starts tomorrow, but we are being handed a key to an unknown part of the mansion and shall figure out where that goes first. And here, the group aspect of Heroes Quest comes into play. Apparently, you can solo this part now with a sufficient thieving level and a lockpick, but we do it as intended. By handing the key off to a member of the Phoenix Gang, who knows that the key leads to a side room of the mansion and they can sneak inside undetected. How do I know that? Well, if you play both sides, you'll always come out on top. All we need to do now is lure Grip next to that side room, close the door to make escape impossible, and watch as he is mercilessly shot to death by an unseen assailant. Even the other guard's body blocking does little to aid him. We snatch the key off of Grip's body, run for the treasure room, say hi to Grip on the way, and find the valuable candlesticks. Here you go, mysterious stranger who is definitely not me on another account. 1 candlestick for you to give to your boss, and we'll bring our part to safety now. Better not mention this cooperation to Katarina. First part completed. Now on to the next one, an Entranan Firebird feather. Let's head over to Entrana and check out the island. Aha, a Firebird. And we can even attack it. Now this looks very quick and easy. There's the feather. But we cannot pick it up. It's too hard to handle. We ask the monks for advice. What do you mean you heard they exist but haven't seen one? You can literally see their spawn point from here. Anyway, he tells us of Kamora, who used some enchanted gloves to be able to touch the bird safely. And these gloves come from an ice queen atop White Wolf Mountain. Alrighty, let's go. Good thing I've got my runes, so we can teleport to nearby Caverby. Geared up with food and armor, we climb the mountain once more. Now these ladders look ideal, but they are blocked off by some rocks. Oh yes, of course. Of course I thought about bringing a pickaxe with me. You saw that was in my inventory from the start, right? So now we get to try the ladders and see if we come out further ahead. Nope, that one wasn't it. The next one looks promising, however. Yeah, that's an ice queen up ahead. Just praying now that these two ladders here are next to each other upstairs as well, and perfect. With our entourage outmaneuvered, we face down the Ice Queen in a brutal one-on-one of whoever so slightly chips down their opponent first. Maybe I should have brought some magic along. Well, I won't bore you with the details, but 4 minutes and 35 seconds later, we finally land the killing blow. And we get a cool pair of gloves as a reward. Back on Endrunner, we beat up a bird once again and can now pick up a feather. 2 out of 3 parts down. Now the last one. A cooked lava eel. And we got the hint to check in with the master fisher in Port Sarim. Well, if that ain't the man who made us rich by buying hundreds of lobsters. How's it going, Garant? Tell me something about lava eels. He gets right to the point. We need to cover our fishing rod in fireproof blamish oil, the base of which he has on him already. We just need to add water and Herolander. Well, that sounds surprisingly easy. Now, where to fish lava eels? Well, surely from lava. I think we saw some deep in Heavily Dungeon while doing Scorpion Catcher. Let's give it a shot. Once again, the drinks are docile. Really wondering why that's the case. A fishable spot in the lava. Perfect. Bait. Right. What an unforeseeable additional requirement. A few minutes later, with some bait, we can finally try our luck. Here fishy fishy. 1 lava eel acquired. Now just teleport back to the cavern, zoom, and cook it up. If you burn that, I'm going to be quite upset. Yay. Final part completed. And we even get to use our reward from fishing contest. I know, fishing contest was not in the game when Hero's Quest came out, but I completely forgot about that. It's also just a bunch of drunken dwarfs here anyway. So then, Akietis, here is proof of our victories. 9 inventory slots, are you joking? Okay, now for real. Akietis, here is proof of our victories. Quest completed. And a whole bunch of XP lamps. Let's stagger some fireworks. And now we can check out what the guild has to offer. Some statues. Arif, hey, I found your shield. Upstairs, just an altar and a vendor with some dragon weapons. But we don't have 60 attack yet. And then it's just a very fancy stairwalking animation to an outdoor dining area. I have to say, that's a bit underwhelming. But something about the real reward being the journey or whatever. So, for real this time, we completed the 27th of February 2002. With all the other quests from the next few updates already completed for some strange reason. We end up on the 17th of June 2002. 2 new quests were released, as well as the Fishing Guild. But with a 67 fishing requirement, I don't want to go over yet. There's also no relevant content for us, so we jump right into a quest. And that is quest number 28, Temple of Ikov. But once again, it has some skilling requirements. First of all, level 40 range. Well, that should be an easy one. We even have the best range armor already. Normal leather boots, gloves and armor. This was indeed the only range armor at the time. Even stuff such as hard leather or green dehyde wasn't in the game until 2004. But at least we get a variety of bows and arrows. So, dressed up in the finest cow leather, equipped with the weakest bow and armed with bronze arrows, we return to the cowpens of Lumbridge to once again spread some terror. But the good times don't last that long. We're nearly out of bronze, and trying to use some higher tier arrows gives us a warning that they cannot be used to full effect with our current weapon. I guess some of fletching upgrades are in order. To get some quick and easy levels, we turn some more logs into arrow shafts and subsequently iron arrows. Enough for level 15. Not quite enough, however, for oak bows. The current level requirements for fletching are pretty much on par with how they were in 2002. Makes things simpler for us, no chance for mistakes. So a couple more normal logs until 20, then for the first time ever we can upgrade to oak and fletch those until 30, and from here we finance more feathers by selling unstrung bows to the general store. Steel arrows are a very fast training method. That's enough for 35, which just so happens to be the level requirement for willow short bows, our next upgrade. The cows are dying a bit too fast now, so we head on over to the Black Wizards to also get some more runes. And here's 40 range. First requirement done, but we also need a better ranged weapon for the quest. While it is only a recommendation now, back then a yew or magic bow were required. While currently we could just buy them here in the archery shop, back then they were not sold or dropped, with the only source being fletching. But that is level 65 for a yew shortbow. That would mean almost 2000 willow logs until level 50, and from there over 6k maple bows until 65. With just a steel hatchet, that would take many hours. So it seems a bit silly to do all of that for an optional requirement. Hey, wait a second, where did all these logs suddenly come from? In the exact quantities that are needed. And how come my woodcutting level just jumped from 43 to 70? Crazy what switching a bank tab can do. But these would still need to be fletched. Hey, where are we going? Oh, unstrung bows, also in the exact quantities needed. Thank you, mysterious bank of resource gathering and production. Very cool. Now, with 65 fletching, we can make ourselves a nice yew shortbow. Look at that massive graphical upgrade. A slightly different shade of brown. Marvelous. And for the thieving requirements, it's just an hour or so of thieving Alkarid guards. Apparently the best training method at the time. This felt pretty terrible. I hope we get another training method when we need to do that again. But that is 42 thieving done. And to end that with some money, we sell all the unstrung bows again. Now that is a fine looking cash deck. All prep completed. So now it's questing time. We start here in the Flying Horse Inn. What an odd name. This is clearly a flying hornless unicorn. But no matter. Inside we are approached by a definitely not shady individual who seeks a hero. Well, not to brag or anything, but you are talking to the Heroes Guild's newest member. He wants us to retrieve the Staff of Armadil from the Temple of Ikov to the northeast, giving only vague promises of a reward. A warning of powerful fire enemies, and mighty magic that bars him from entry. Well, we've probably done more for less at this point, so quest accepted and off we go, I guess. Next to all of his non-2002 stuff, we find a letter down. Now let's see. A train of giant skeletons and a warning of death? Yeah, that sounds good. A locked door to the left and pitch darkness up ahead. Well, at least we can do something against the darkness. I should still have a black handle from Merlin's crystal. Works perfectly fine. Surprisingly well illuminated. And in here we find Runescape's first soft lock. While I could cut the web and walk in here without a knife, now, thanks to the tool world, back then you could drop the knife outside and once the web respawned you'd be stuck. This knife spawn beneath me was only added later and there was no home teleport yet either. But we are here for boosts that magically make us lighter, not a history lesson. So now let's move ahead past the scary skeletons. A trapdoor and a lever. Whatever could happen to us if we push it? Well, my game crashed, so this was actually a bit unexpected. Loading back in, we are in what I presume to be the room underneath the trapdoor. The next door ahead is still locked, so only one way remains. This certified bridge in excellent condition. Better leave my lobsters behind. With 0.8, this shouldn't be an issue. What? Oh, damn rounding errors. Alright. Back at it now, also without clothes, and we should be light enough. Perfect. That's a lever handle. Think I spotted something near the entrance where that might fit. And that unlocked the path to the left. An icy cave filled with spiders and many chests, some of which contain an ice arrow. We were warned that we had to fight a fiery opponent which could only be killed with ice, so we should stock up here. 44 arrows is hopefully enough. Remembering Tribal Totem, I eventually even thought about right-clicking the lever of Game Crashes, and this time it opened up a way forward. What a peaceful room. The skeletons calmly resting, surely no sign of danger. Oh no, an ambush! The surprise! Glad I gathered so many arrows when all I needed was a total of 3. Moving on, the way is blocked by lava. A conveniently placed switch offers to send us across in exchange for 20 lymphoid roots. Sounds like a fair trade, but we are a bit short, only 14. Back to the Hill Giants it is. They did have a pretty solid drop rate. But first, a quick stop by the Champions Guild. With 50 attack just around the corner, we should invest into a weapon upgrade. I'm feeling like swinging a longsword. 16k is nothing for us now. And that's 50 attack. Oh yeah, that hits a lot harder. Looks a bit off compared to Adamant though. Well, 50 defense won't take forever, I'm sure. 6 lymphoid roots later, we can return to the temple and move forward. A pretty big room behind a clickable wall. Promising. These Armadillo guards even have a talk option. Let's try it out. Seems our amulets makes them aggressive. But we can just take it off without consequences. Turns out that the shady guy from the pub might not have been such a good noodle after all. These guardians say that he's a Majorat, an ancient, evil being, and stealing the staff would grant him terrible powers. I'm conflicted. On one hand, seeing what might happen if he still steals the staff would be funny. But Lucian didn't tell us exactly how we would be rewarded. We don't work for peanuts. So time to do the morally justified thing and backstab our employer. He told us he'd be hiding near the Grand Exchange in Varrock, so let's pay him a visit. Get no-scoped? What an anticlimactic fight. He just ran off. But that is now quest completed. 2 more range levels and also the 800 total level milestone. These Majorat guys surely will not be relevant again in the future, so moving on to the next adventure. A monk south of Ardon needs our help in quest number 29, Clock Tower. Brother Kojo needs a helping hand fixing the clock tower. And by helping hand, he of course means that we need to do all the work while he just relaxes. But it shouldn't take that long. We need to grab 4 cogs down in the basement and install them on the right level of the tower. Alrighty, let's start with blue. There's a blue cog in that cell, but the hatch upstairs is locked, so we need to find a different way. Ah, there's a path behind it. Maybe some other ladder upstairs will lead down here. And behind Brother Cedric, who still couldn't make it to the birthday party, we find the right way forward. Following a narrow path, we end up with the first cog. Now, where do we put it? I tried to search for any kind of hint in the bookshelves, but nothing. And the solution is of course far simpler. The game will simply tell you if you try the wrong floor. Surprisingly easy, but first down, 3 to go. Next is white. Down that way we find some poison in a room full of rats. Well, that sounds like a match made in heaven. Let's poison the food and see what happens. I've got to say, this is some absolutely wild shit. That Des unhooked the door? What? Better not question it and install the next cog halfway through. Next is the black path. And chilling in some fire, we spot the next cog already. Too hot to touch. I wonder where I did hear that one before. Quick round trip to the bank to grab our ice gloves and we can pick up the cog. Installed as well. Just one last remaining. Red cog is guarded by some ogres who give us a friendly slap. Well, that was easy. And just one last floor remaining makes this an easy guess. Back to Brother Kojo to retrieve our just reward. 500 coins and another quest point. And that was both the last quest from the 17th of June 2002, as well as the last one for today. The next few episodes will come out in a more steady pace again. There are only a very few minor grinds in the upcoming update, so I can spend most of the time questing. I hope you enjoyed today's adventure, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Until then, have a great day. Bye.